During the recession of 2008-2009, it was the financial institutions, the banks, the bankers and the economists. A few years later, it was our European neighbours with all their pesky rules and regulations and their migrant workers. Then we voted for Brexit, and it was the migrant workers that chose to return home. Not long after that, it was COVID-19 and the Chinese that had apparently wrought it upon us, the social distancing and the lockdowns. And all the while, it was also the government, whether that was Conservative or Labour. Throughout the past 20 years, the UK demolition and construction industry has seemingly suffered far more lows than it's enjoyed highs. We've witnessed huge numbers of companies collapsing into liquidation. Workers have been injured, maimed and killed on our watch. An unstoppable exodus of talent has drained the sector. Yet after every single setback, the industry has simply looked around to find someone or something to blame. Companies going out of business in 2008? Bankers. Annoying rules on the environment? Bloody EU. COVID? Sodding Chinese. Companies going out of business in 2026? The poxy government. Project overruns? The poxy weather. We blame our inability to attract and retain young workers on the Construction Industry Training Board. We blame site accidents on foreign workers that don't or can't speak English. We blame Tier 1 companies when projects bust through previously agreed budgets, and we blame subcontractors when projects bust through previously agreed deadlines. We even bend reality to accommodate this blame game. Being part of the EU was costing too much money, and it forced us to abide by those laws passed in Brussels. We're no longer part of the EU. We're worse off financially, and I've seen no signs of rules being loosened. Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves are apparently the root of all evil, the spawn of Satan. Were we better off under Boris Johnson, Theresa May, Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak? COVID-19 undoubtedly caused the demolition and construction industry enormous harm, even though it was one of the few sectors granted explicit permission to keep working right through the pandemic. Yet that pandemic was perhaps the greatest indicator that the industry's fundamental problems lie much closer to home. As the lockdowns took hold, companies up and down the country clamoured to get access to government loans just to keep their heads above water. More than 250,000 UK construction firms drew down bounce-back loans costing the taxpayer around £7.7 billion. Recent analysis of British Business Bank records indicates a damning truth. Only around 11% of those bounce-back loans have been paid back in full. And that's not a refusal to pay back the loan, it's an inability. And it's that inability that tells the true story of today's demolition and construction industry. Tens of thousands of companies are living hand to mouth. They're permanently on the brink. They're just one delayed project, one non-payment, or one single period of inclement weather away from total disaster. We operate on margins so razor thin that there is zero room for error. Yet we act as though macroeconomics are the only thing that can capsize us. When times are good, and while it's hard to picture that right now, times are occasionally good, we refuse to fix the roof while the sun is shining. We fail to set aside a reserve for a rainy day. We fail to invest in sustainable training or modern machinery. Instead, we buy fancy cars and even fancier watches. We take expensive holidays in exclusive destinations. We live the lifestyle of footballers and movie stars, completely ignoring the storm clouds gathering on the horizon until the downpour hits us. But we've now officially run out of excuses. Oh, listen, I'm certain somebody will find a way to blame artificial intelligence for the industry's future ills. There'll always be those that insist that everything wrong with British construction is down to Geordie foreigner. And yes, the lazy will probably still blame the Chancellor or the rain when things go awry. But we're kidding ourselves. We are the ones who have failed to attract and retain the skills and talent we so desperately need. We are the ones who have failed to eliminate the scourge of site accidents and fatalities. We are the ones who have failed to stop the abuse of drugs and alcohol on our site. We are the ones who have failed to root out corruption. We are the ones who have perpetuated a toxic race to the bottom driven by suicidal project pricing and desperate bid undercutting. We are the ones who have stood idly by as more than 4,000 of our fellow demolition and construction companies have gone to the wall each year for the past 2 years. The industry needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror, and it won't like what it sees, because staring right back will be the absolute undeniable reason that the industry finds itself in the doldrums today.